matches his drapes.
So like his carpet matches his drapes?
Yeah.
You talking about me?
Yes, I like your coordination. Your shirt matches your drapes.
Oh, thank you. How are you, Carol?
I'm just fine, thank you.
All right. Steve,
Yep.
I got to. I'm going to have something for the Q&A. I had a problem with.
Yep.
I'll just give you a heads up on it. I tried to print something and I got a box that came up that warned me that .pde was damaged my computer and yada yada. And so I looked into it a bit, and actually I also like impulsively deleted it and found it in the, it said show in Finder, so I said fine, show it in Finder, and then when I found it, I not only sent it to trash, but I emptied the trash. So I think I have screwed the pooch here in the printing department. But I also have an article I found looking at it, and I will, when we get going, I will try to copy that into the YouTube stream chat for the Q&A session. Apparently this started in October 22nd, that people started getting messages about this. And it's a question of certificates and whether they were tampered with or what's going on. So
With an HP driver?
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, HP made a mistake.
And so I'm going to have to ask you during the, it might be useful to other people, I don't know, but basically I also then attempted to download the HP drivers from support.hp. And I think I did download them okay, but I don't know how to reinstall or whatever I need to do. So we'll see. How do we do this screen mode here? I guess I like this.
Is that Dennis Worcester I see there? Hey, Dennis.
Hey, everybody.
Hi.
I did.
I joined, but he kept sending me little things saying waiting.
I see you there.
All right, can you hear me?
No.
It just keeps rotating in the middle of the screen, so I admit joined with video, but I don't know.
Disconnect and try again. Shirley's trying to get in. Having trouble so far. All right, well, we see you, Shirley. And you're muted yourself. Unmute. We can barely hear you, Kim. It's very low audio.
Okay, can you see me?
Yes, Shirley.
Yes.
You're up.
Yep.
All right, well, like I said, it still has that little waiting thing going on in the middle of the screen for me, so, but at least I'm on, so I guess that's okay. I'm drinking my peppermint cocoa.
Oh. Sounds
Yes.
good.
Sounds tasty with the whipped cream.
Oh, wow.
I'm all festive for the meeting.
Sounds it, yes.
And I have banana bread, so this is a virtual entertainment, right?
Wow.
Virtual refreshments, I should say.
I've got peppermint tea, so, and I just
Right,
finished cherry pie.
So you have all that, so you're all set?
Yep.
Well, we'll see if this thing waits, because until it lets me in or whatever it's doing, I can't see who else is online, because it's just going.
Did you quit and re-enter?
I tried, and when I go back in, it goes right back to the same thing.
Then you didn't quit.
It says video preview.
Can you see us?
No,
Oh,
I
you
just see
can't.
myself
Oh,
because it's still waiting. That's the thing.
Quit and re-enter.
Well, I tried it once. I'll try it.
Hi, Rick. Lyndon coming on. Hi, Kim. We can see your ceiling.
I know. Like my ceiling. You hear me now? Wait,
Barely.
yes.
I had to turn off this one. Hold on.
So, Steve, how come it's so light at your place?
What do you mean?
Well, I'm looking behind you, and you got
Oh,
a door, and it's bright light, like it's a different time of day.
that's the school.
Oh, okay.
Schools are known for light.
Yeah. You never quit, Shirley, because you never left the meeting. I'm gonna have to go do it.
Oh, I didn't? Okay, well, it's fine now.
You see
Oh,
it?
good. You can see us?
So whatever. Yeah, I can see everybody now. So
Oh,
quit
good.
with the
And
little
we can hear you. We can
waiting
see
thing
you.
for some.
We're
Oh,
all
that's
set.
great.
So see if it ain't broke.
Yep.
Don't.
Back in?
Yeah. Yeah. Went back in.
You never.
Oh, well, whatever it did. I hit the right buttons, I thought, and it's a mystery. So
I can't argue with success.
whatever.
And I'm excited. This is the first time I'm seeing 16 screens on my iPad. Normally, I could only see
Me too.
9. This is awesome.
I only see 12.
Yeah, I see 12.
Oh, wait. I've got 12. Sorry.
Yeah, I see
Sorry,
12.
gross. Yep, 12. The 12 is better than the
I was
usual
going
9.
to say, Rick, you look like Edith Head from The Incredibles. Rick.
I don't know who that is.
You know the cartoon The Incredibles, but Edith Head was a costume designer that they made one of the characters in The
What?
Incredibles after her.
Played,
The little hairdo.
played by Brad Bird.
And
the
she had the big
glasses.
and she had the big glasses.
Edna.
Really, that's a good one.
Yes, she was known for the big glasses
Yes,
too.
yes.
Okay then.
Well, it's not a hairdo, it's a hat.
Yeah,
Oh, it's a hat. Okay,
Yes.
it's a
well,
hat. See?
from this distance and looking straight on, that's okay. Now see, it looks like a hat, but looking straight on, it looked like hair. Thought you had a bowl cut there.
Yeah, I've got the
No.
Princess Leia ears here.
Yes.
Yeah, the earphones. Yes, yes. So let's see. Are we waiting for
Hey,
David, Kim, and
Dennis Worcester. Hi,
Lyle.
Dennis.
Hi,
look-
Dennis.
Yes, Dennis.
Hello,
Isn't it
everybody.
Girl Scout cookie time?
Usually starts in January. I'll
Yes,
keep you
I saw
posted.
something about them online that they were selling Girl Scout cookies now, right now.
Oh, is that
COVID
true?
cookies?
Yeah.
I
I
hope
thought
they
it was
find
a
a way to
little
drop
early,
ship them.
but
Yeah.
I don't know. But they had a thing, something I saw on the news or somewhere where they said, oh, the Girl Scouts were selling cookies now at Christmas time that they felt they needed to, I guess, or I don't know what it was. So
Oh,
maybe
well,
think
right.
of you anyways.
Yeah, we were working to try and help the local council get rid of all their extra cookies because they weren't able. A lot of troops weren't able to do their booth sales this year,
Okay,
and
maybe that was.
they had so many extras that Kelly and I were actively leaving them on doorsteps for people who would pay via PayPal
good.
or Venmo, and
Oh, so you were
we
the
were
Girl
helping out.
Scout cookie fairy.
Yes, we were
or
the
elf, I should say.
yeah. We were traveling all over the county.
Oh, that was nice of you to do that. I'm sure the people appreciated eating their cookies, right?
Yes, got to see a few different people that I hadn't seen in a while. Different members of Apple Cider, and
Oh,
it was really nice.
well, Steve, you should have ordered some cookies.
Well, if
Could have delivered them right to
yes.
MacAv.
if if we start doing cookies, I will be sure to let everybody know.
Okay, very good, very good. All right,
Hmm.
are we
May I interrupt for a moment,
ready to
please?
start it?
May I interrupt?
Can you hear me?
Can I'm just was sending a message through the YouTube chat to Steve that the volume of the participants on the YouTube stream is not very loud, barely audible. But I wish that Steve would say something because I think his voice was louder.
2 separate mics. I just raised the YouTube volume.
Good, thank you.
I accidentally posted Edith's head in the chat 4 times. I didn't mean to do it 4 times. But if anybody can see any of them, I'm just curious if it worked.
I don't see anything.
In the chat,
I don't
you
either.
see unknown JPEG.
Oh, I don't even see chat. Let me see more chat. Okay.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can
Yes.
hear you, Kim. That's better than it was. You're sitting closer,
Okay.
so the mic can pick you up.
No, I'm on a tablet. I switched.
Yeah, we can barely see you. There's like a column or your ceiling
It's
fan.
the ceiling
That's what we're
fan.
basically. Okay, there's your face. Okay.
Yeah, I gotta. Well, I'm on a tablet, so I gotta I don't want to hold it for 3 hours, so I gotta find
I was
somewhere
gonna
to
say
put
put it on a box or something. If you have a box where you can set it in front of you, or books.
I was gonna try and find my AirPods to use at the computer, but I don't know where they are.
Okay. Well, we can hear you anyways, Kim.
So I might be looking for those for a little while, and just
That's all right.
hi. Say hi to my ceiling fan.
Okay.
Put them on your Christmas list. Apple's supposed to be releasing new AirPods.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
you're
will
jumping.
I'll be right back.
You're jumping ahead.
Yeah.
All right. Are we set to begin the meeting? Are we set?
Yep.
Everybody ready?
Ready?
All right. So it's 7:15. So I guess welcome to December's CIDER meeting. No, not the board meeting. And hopefully everybody is, getting ready for Christmas as such as it is this year. Everything. So we'll see where we're at. Last month of the year, we can say 2021 next month. So hopefully it'll be a much better year than it was this year. All right, so let's start. Steve, are you ready to go? Do you want to do Q&A or what?
Oh, to me already? I didn't want to do anything this meeting.
That's not happening.
Yeah.
Oh, and Bob, happy birthday. Was your birthday yesterday?
Yep.
Okay, well, happy belated birthday.
Oh, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
My
All
birthday
right.
story
All right.
every year is how Pearl Harbor is the day before my birthday.
Oh, yeah.
And I was born in 46, and my mother thought I might be born on Pearl Harbor Day. So
Whoa.
had I been a girl, she had it all set out that I would be named Pearl. But
Oh,
I
okay.
wasn't, and I'm not.
Yeah. Yeah, your real name is actually
Well, that's
Harbor.
good, I guess.
Yeah, Harbor.
Safe Harbor, right, Bob?
Yeah,
Safe Harbor,
Day.
yes.
Pearl Harbor Day, my birthday, Safe Harbor Day.
Yes, yes. All righty, well, Steve, start whenever you're ready.
All right, let's do a little bit of
I have a question.
Yeah.
Already.
Okay. All right.
My brother printer is displaying a red X. It doesn't seem to be that any of the toners are out. I looked at the status of the toner, the materials there, and it looks like it's not running out. It does print. I just don't know what the red X is all about.
What model printer is it?
It's Brother laser printer, color laser printer, MFC. Just a second, I tell you the MFC 9130 CW.
The status bar should tell you what it means. Generally, it means something is
Wrong.
yeah, something wrong. You said you checked the toner. It could be.
I checked it online through the, through the app. I went to the
Yep.
printer and looked at supplies, and they all seem to be okay.
It could be a drum is getting low. It could be one of the paper trays is getting low.
No, it's not paper for sure.
Does this just have a lights on the, or does it actually have a screen with?
There is a screen, and I'm not going to look at it now, but I'll explore that more.
Yeah, the screen should tell you more of what the message means.
Yep.
But where's the X coming up then?
It's on a display panel. It's
Okay.
to the right of the LCD screen.
So
there's a light. There's also a home light, a little white display. It looks like a house.
Yeah,
it's not always on. Sometimes it's on. I don't have any idea why.
Sometimes it means wrong paper. You told it to print an A4 when you have letter or something like that?
We haven't changed paper in years. We're doing same kind of paper all the time.
Yeah, but maybe the document you printed was set for a different size.
Well, right now it's not set for any document, and if I want to print anything, it just prints. I printed a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, so it's more.
Fine.
It's got to be more of an informational message than an error message.
Okay. I just thought somebody might know offhand. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
I'll explore it, figure it out.
Yeah, frequently there are so many things it could be that there's usually a details button to tell you what it is. And the manual would tell you what all the controls on that front panel do too.
I've had it for about 8 years, so I'd have to find a manual online.
Yeah, it's on Brother's website. I downloaded it and I'm looking to see now. But yeah, it's sort of their generic. Could be the toner getting low, could be the developer getting low, could be paper getting low. There's a lot of different things. Could be a paper jam. Probably isn't a jam because it keeps printing okay. It's like that red check engine light in your car that lasts forever.
Exactly. And nothing seems wrong, yet it just stays on.
Yep. All right. Well, should we do? Want to do more questions, or should we do news? Do you want to bring? Did you want to do your question, Charlie, or yours is more of an answer than a question?
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Good. Well, I told Steve as he was setting up, I went to print something today, and I have 2 HP printers. One is an inkjet, one's a laser. And I tried them both, and a box came up with a warning that I believe it was a .pde extension of some sort could damage my computer. And it looked, like an authentic Apple message. So I got overzealous, and one of the choices was show in Finder. So I picked that, and when I got into the Finder, I moved the offending thing to trash, and just to be really sure, I emptied trash. And I did that once for the inkjet and once for the laser printer. And then because there was just one more of those things in that same little folder or whatever it was, I got rid of that too.
Yep.
So now I think I've cooked my goose. I Googled the problem and found an article, and Steve has probably found it. Otherwise, I can attempt to copy the URL into the YouTube chat. Steve, do you want me to do that or not bother?
Well, I've got the one from Apple.
Good.
There are a lot of different blogs covering it.
Yeah. So, I mean, my immediate problem, of course, is now I can't print it all. And I went to support.hp.com and searched for the name of the inkjet printer and downloaded drivers for it, I think. But and it's in my downloads folder, but I don't know where to go from there in terms of installing it. The article also mentioned something about going into system preferences and I think maybe deleting the printer and then reinstalling it or something, but I'm at above over my head here.
Yeah. Oops, let me hit enter there. So yeah, basically what happened is that HP revoked a couple of their old certificates that weren't needed anymore, but they accidentally revoked a new certificate for the current printer. And certificates are used to verify authenticity of software. And so with an invalid certificate, Apple's malware protection went crazy. Giving you a warning, it was probably a little more upsetting or a little more harsher than it needed to be, that this program could damage your computer, thinking it was malware because it had an invalid certificate. And that's one way that the bad guys try to get malicious software on your computer, is by using invalid certificates or somebody else's certificate. So the basic solution is to delete all the HP drivers and use the Apple driver. HP has since released newer drivers. So if you go to the HP website, download the current driver for your printer and install it, that will fix the issue as well. The problem can be is if you have an older printer, HP may not have a driver, and so you're better off using the Apple driver anyway. In fact, I've often found that the Apple driver works better than the HP driver. I was at a customer this morning. We were trying to get the HP scanner to work, and it wouldn't work with the HP driver. We eventually had to just switch it to the Apple driver, and everything worked fine.
How do I do that? How do I find the Apple driver and switch to it or whatever?
You go into your system preferences under printers, and then it will show you the printers you have in your computer. On the left-hand side, you click on the one that's there and hit the minus button at the bottom to remove that printer, and then you hit the plus button to add it back again, and it will show you a list of printers that it sees on your network or your USB or your Wi-Fi, and then you click on it, and by default it will use the Apple driver. Generally, it will say AirPrint for network printers.
But if this is not an AirPrint type printer, it's too old for that. It's okay to choose that.
Yeah, and Apple will download the driver itself if it needs it. Especially since it sounds like you deleted all the HP components.
Well, I raised hell, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Do I have to be hooked up to the printers to do that procedure?
Yes, to add the printer, to do to delete the printers, no. To add the printer back in, yes.
Yeah, not only hooked up, but of course turned on, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, thank you.
When this first hit a couple months ago and started happening, the solution at the time was to go into your printer folder and delete all the HP stuff. which is what, in essence, you did when you hit that show in Finder, and then went to the Finder icon and deleted that stuff that was there.
But it really only showed one thing in the Finder, the .pde.
Right.
It might have been .pe.gz. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But
So,
not.
Yeah,
I mean, there's still a whole host. When I searched in the Mac hard drive, there's still a whole host of HP stuff in there. But I'm just going to try your approach and go and delete the printer driver and try to add the Apple one.
Yep.
Thank you very much.
Sure. And you can delete all the HP drivers if you go to the library folder and the printers folder. There's a folder called HP. In fact, quite often you'll find a folder for all of the different brand of printers you've installed. So you can delete that HP folder, and then it will download any new HP driver it needs.
Is that the library folder or the option click library folder?
The regular library folder at the root.
Okay.
It's a system level thing, printing, so it's at the system level library, not a user library.
Well, is this, and now here I'm showing my ignorance again, isn't it the system level that requires the option to get to it rather than the user, just the user library?
No, the option key takes you to the user library, which is hidden, which has always struck me as odd that, yeah, it's probably safe to hide the user library, but you should also, if you're going to do that, you should hide the system library too, because people will accidentally get into there and do things they're not supposed to do. That's why they hide it, because generally you shouldn't be mucking about in that folder. And if you need to get in there, there's enough instructions and ways to get to it, so that's okay. But then they leave the system library available for you to get into and accidentally muck about.
Thank you, sir.
Yep.
We'll mute.
Steve?
Yes.
I got a quick question, I hope. I just checked and I seem to be missing all of my contacts. What did I do?
You're antisocial. One of the things that can happen is it depends on where you're putting your contacts. So you can put contacts on your computer. You can put them on iCloud. You can put them on Google. You can put them on Microsoft, depending on what services you have set up and running. So say you had them on iCloud, and then you turned off iCloud contacts, then you would stop seeing them again. When you go into your Contacts app, in Preferences, there is a setting as to what the default Contacts folder is, whether it stores it on your computer or on iCloud. Most Mac users will have it sync with iCloud, so that it will sync to their phones and all of their computers, so that you get all the contacts syncing around. Syncing around. We want to be careful who we sync around with. Go back into contacts, so that when you create a new contact, it's created on iCloud. One of the things we see is that if you have your default contact set to the computer, then it won't save it to iCloud, and so then you won't see them on your other devices. So
that kind of gives me a clue.
Yeah.
I have two Apple IDs, and I just noticed that one of my Apple IDs appears to be hooked up to the iCloud contacts, and I think that's one doesn't have anything, which is why I'm not seeing them.
Yeah.
Okay.
So each Apple ID can store its own contacts.
Okay. Thank you.
Steve?
Yes.
On that one, you said system preferences to contacts?
Printers.
I don't, am I right? Is that
No,
what you said?
You're going to printers for your printer problem.
No. I'm ignoring the printer problem now, but I thought I would look. I was interested in Rick's question. So,
well, system preferences and then Apple ID. You can turn your contact syncing on and off, and also in the Contacts app on the computer or in the Settings app on the iDevices. You can turn your contact syncing on and off and specify which contact server you're saving to.
Okay, thanks.
Yep. That's one of the things we often see with people who are switching to a new phone. is that they had their contacts saved on the phone, not on iCloud. So then when they get their new phone and set everything up, all their contacts are gone because they weren't saved on the cloud, they were saved on the phone. Or the computer. When you do computer-to-computer migration will usually catch it, but when you do with a phone, you restore from iCloud, it may not have your local contacts. It may only have the iCloud contacts.
Yeah, and setting the default for new contacts when you enter one, that is a setting that a lot of people don't know about. On your phone and on your iPad, there is in settings a line item that says, when I make a new contact or enter new information, which account should it go to? And sometimes that's set to just leave it on the phone rather than sync it to my iCloud account so that it goes everywhere else. When people are having trouble with their contacts that I work with, and they're definitely using an iCloud account, the first thing I do is I log into Apple's webpage to see at iCloud.com and go to contacts there. That at least gives me a window into the truth as Apple sees it. And then we can kind of work backwards from there.
And then a lot of times when you set up a new account, say you add a Gmail account, it assumes you're going to want to use Gmail for contacts and calendars. And then it sets that to be your default account. And now suddenly your contacts are on a bunch of different accounts.
Yeah, they're split.
Yeah. What game are they playing there in the background?
I'll find out.
Yeah. We can see a game over your shoulder.
He's playing Counter-Strike.
Counter-Strike, all right.
He just got done building his first gaming PC, and he's very proud of it.
Nice.
It has all the LED fancy stuff and a window on the side of the case, and he's set it to red and green colors for Christmas.
Oh, yeah, I can see that. Hi, Mabel. How are you doing tonight?
Well, I'm fine, thank you. I had played my CDs that I downloaded years ago and used iTunes. I haven't used it in about a year. And I tried to play it tonight and it said none of your albums are checked. And I had unchecked them because I wanted to redo my list. But when I chose something, it wouldn't let me play. I don't know what I'm doing wrong.
Well, generally you check and uncheck things you want to play or don't want to play. So when it's unchecked, it won't play. So you need to check it so that it does play.
But now I need to see how to check it, because when I had the left column had all of my albums and I, highlighted it and it had the button to play and it didn't play. And I went through a lot of the help things and I didn't see how to check it. I've forgotten, unfortunately.
The check column should be the first column in the song list.
Well, I would have thought so.
I know there's a way to choose what columns are showing.
Mabel, are you on your Mac now?
I am, sir.
Can you click on the green share screen button in Zoom to show us what you're seeing? Would that be okay?
Okay, that's the
Or is there anything on the screen that you'd prefer to maybe not share?
No. I just went to the classical jukebox and it says all your songs are unchecked. So all right, let me see if I can get back to Zoom.
Okay. That might help us.
Yeah, you have to be in
a closer idea.
You have to be in the song list to get the checkbox. You can't be in the album list or the artist list. It has to be the song list.
I got to be in the song list. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, where have I got to get back to Zoom?
Click the Zoom icon or Command Tab until you get back to the Zoom screen.
I mean, I'm on your screen.
Oh, you're in Zoom? You're seeing the Zoom window now?
Yes, sir.
At the bottom, there should be a green button that says Share Screen.
Oh, well, yes, I hit that earlier. Yeah. Okay.
So that will share your screen to us. Oh, you're not a host. You might not be allowed to share the screen.
Host disabled attendee screen share. Well, you've done it you've done it before. Another.
Yes, I have to turn that on at this end.
Oh, okay.
To allow a host to share.
I'm sorry, I didn't know if this was something that we were doing or not. I just live in the remote support world where that's a common approach for helping.
Sharing options. All participants can share. All right. Now you can share your
Hooray.
screen.
All right, there's my screen. Did I hit the right thing or no?
And when you click that button, it will ask which screen you want to share.
Oh, okay, wait a minute. I didn't
And
do
so
that.
you could share your desktop or you could share your iTunes screen.
There we are. I double click it.
There we are.
Got it.
Oh,
Yep.
you got it. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah,
You
so
did it, Mabel.
Yep.
Good job.
So on
This is
the
it?
yep, on the left you want to be in the song list.
Okay, I was
Yep.
in. Oh, wait a minute. What was I in?
You're inside a playlist.
Oh, is that what I'm in? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that looks more familiar.
And there's your check boxes.
Yeah, we can see all the things that you like to listen to.
Yeah.
No.
Showboat.
Now, what in the world was I on this morning that I was getting that other screen?
I think you were down in the classical jukebox
Yeah.
playlist.
In a playlist, yeah.
About
Yeah, that's
three
where I
quarters of the way
was.
down there.
That's exactly where I was.
Yep.
Right.
But I need to go to songs first. That's
Yep,
where I
right. You have to turn the songs on that you want to be able to play.
Okay, so
And
that classical jukebox is just so I can see what it's.
Well, that's the playlist you've created, but none of
Right.
those songs are turned on.
Right. So I have to go
So in the
here.
song list, you want to check the songs you want to play.
Okay, I just got
thi-
tired of the same old thing. So.
I think if you click the check box at the very top of the column, you can check them all on.
Oh, that sounds like an excellent idea.
To the right a little bit where the check is, yeah. And you
okay.
should no, that's sorting it by checked. So
Maybe option click one of them and see if it lets you click them all. Option click one of the checkboxes.
Oh, okay.
If you hold down the option key.
Right, I was just trying to get down to something.
Or maybe select all and then check a box. I'm not
control,
sure.
yeah, select all and control click, and then there's a check and uncheck command.
All right, select now. Where's this? Where are you getting the select all?
Command A.
Oh, that one. Okay. Yep. I use that a lot for deleting. Okay, and then
And then control click or right click on one of the songs.
Yep.
on one of them.
Yep, there's
Okay.
your menu, and then click, and then you can say check selection. So that will check all the songs. There you go. Now they'll all play.
There, we just saved you an hour.
Well, you saved me an hour. You saved me frustration of myself.
Yeah.
I get so mad at myself. It's been a year since I've played any, which is kind of stupid.
Well, what I often do is I'll turn off the Christmas songs when it's not Christmas.
Right.
And then when
right.
Christmas comes and none of my music plays, I got to remember to go, oh, yeah, I got to go check them again.
Well, I can't.
So now if you go back to that classic jukebox playlist, those songs will play because now they're checked.
Oh, I see. Now I can go back over here and hit that.
Yep.
Oh, I see. Now it is black. I can
Yep.
see it.
And now they'll play.
Oh, thank you. I'm so sorry. I just feel so dumb when but I hadn't done it in a while, so I forget.
Yeah, that's no problem.
Okay.
Oh,
We're
we
here to
can
help.
relate to that.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Everybody have a Merry Christmas, as you say, under the circumstances and all.
Yes.
Yes.
You did a great job sharing your screen, Mabel.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Now the real trick is you got to stop sharing your screen.
So now what do I do about that?
That green button down at the bottom should now say stop sharing.
Okay, so I should I just take this off? Just blanket it. Oh, what's this? Apple cider meeting.
Oh, sorry. You have to switch back to the Zoom meeting first.
Yeah, I know. I've got you on the side here, but I've got to. How do I got to go back to my letter?
Go back to
I
the
did-
Zoom icon. If you click that in the dock or do the Command Tab to get back to Zoom.
Oh, I see.
I should be able.
As the host, can you
Yeah,
stop
I
the
should.
share?
I'm looking to that myself.
I don't have
haven't
a.
played with that.
Oh, there it is. I'm
Um,
sorry.
Stop participant sharing. There we are. I can do it. There we
Yeah,
are.
I did find it. I finally found it on
Yeah.
the left. Too much stuff on my dock. All right. Thank you so much.
How come when she shared her screen, it went to full screen on my computer?
Because it does that.
That's a feature of Zoom.
That's a feature.
Feature.
You can go up to the menu bar and take it out of full screen if you want.
So now you've taken it off. I don't have to.
Right. Yep.
That's
Thank
right. Yep. We can't see your screen anymore.
Thank you.
But we can see you.
Well, that would not be too good.
Yeah. And we're
These
looking.
masks.
We're looking at the knickknacks on your shelf.
At least we don't have to have a mask on. Well, there's a lot of those.
Yep. Oh, hey, Frank, that's a nice background you're on.
I like that one, yeah.
That's Canandaigua Lake, I believe.
Yes.
Oh, it's so
Nice.
pretty.
That's what it looks like 6 months from now, right?
Right.
Yep.
I have a lot of choices. This morning I was on the top of Mount Fuji, but I decided I'd better get off of there for a while.
On top of Mount Fuji, all covered with cheese. No. That's an old Dr. Demento song. Alrighty, any other question?
Oh yeah, I have a question.
Sure.
Oh. Okay, so remember when I before when I forgot that my iPad was 64 and thought it was 32, but it was really 64, and I had saved it to the 50 gigabyte cloud.
Yeah.
So it saved part of it, and then my iPad died before I upgraded it. I mean, I broke it. So do you know, like, what, if I retrieve what was stored, do you know what it stores first? Like, or do you not know? Like, when it starts backing stuff up?
I don't
Like,
know
does it start with
offhand.
photos, end with photos, or do you have any idea?
I'm not sure. Dennis, do you know what it stores first if you run out of iCloud space? I know it kind
If
of.
you run out of iCloud space, then I'm sorry, I
Yeah.
missed the question.
Yeah, you run out of iCloud
'Cause I
space and it can't save anymore. Do you know what it stores first? Or is it just sort of whatever uses the last of it and that's the end? Whether it's a backup or a photo or something.
Maybe it does it by creation date,
You have to buy more.
modification date. I guess
Yeah.
you could go to iCloud.com and click on
Yep.
iCloud Drive and go see.
Yeah, you can look through your iCloud Drive, your iCloud photos on the website and see what it saved.
Ah,
But I'm not sure what criteria it uses.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it acts the same way as Time Machine.
No,
Or-
it doesn't auto delete old stuff. So it's probably whatever the current thing is that fills it up is the last thing that's done. So if you were syncing new photos and it got full, then it would stop and wouldn't cap anymore. If you're doing a backup and it got full, it would stop and wouldn't do anymore.
And then you get a message that you have to buy more
Yeah.
storage space.
Right.
Yeah.
Steve,
The 50
quick
gigs,
question.
yeah, just for a second, Charlie. The 50 gigs for 99 cents is a pretty good deal. The next step up is 200 gigs for $2.99, which still, it's only $36 a year. That's still not too bad. And now with the new Apple One subscription service available, if you like any of Apple's other services, that I can't remember off the top of my head, the music, music,
news and music.
Yeah.
Apple TV Plus.
Apple TV Plus.
Arcade.
Yeah. They have a bundle now of other services at a lower price if you're doing several different services.
So my question,
Yep.
I have never gone to iCloud.com to look at what it's got backed up from my devices, but is that going to be the same situation I ran into when I attempted to actually open a file in my external hard drive and mess things up? In other words, can you look in iCloud and see what's there, but not open it up and look at it?
Short answer,
Yeah,
yes. You can
yeah.
see a listing of
You can see a list of
what's
your
listed.
documents and not open them. You can see a list of the photos and not open them. Yeah.
But do you want not to open them, or are you going to mess things up?
Well, don't edit mass, changes and save those changes.
Okay.
But it shouldn't
Kind
mess.
of depends
it shouldn't
on what messing them
yeah.
up means to you.
If you don't delete anything, then nothing should get deleted.
No, well, the situation I ran into with the hard drive, as I recall, was that I think when I returned to like photos on my Mac, it said something about, you know, they had to be, you know, I won't use the right term, but reformatted or something. You know, it definitely had some agita from the process. And then Steve told me, don't open them in the external hard drive. Look, but don't touch.
Oh, you'd gone into your backup drive to open a backup file.
Right.
Yeah.
And I was wondering by analogy whether iCloud backup would function the same way.
You can't go into an iCloud backup. You can only go into iCloud documents.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah, so the Apple One subscription, in fact, I just had a thought. Instead of sharing Safari separately, if I share the Zoom, I should be able to share my screen to Zoom and put my Safari window in. No, Safari window, not Edith Head's window. So the Apple One subscription, if you use several of the services, can be a pretty good savings. So for an individual person, if you use music, TV, arcade, and then you get that 50 gigs of iCloud, you're saving $6 a month. If you add family sharing, so then you can share it with 5 other people in your family, you're saving $8 a month. And then if you add News Plus and now Fitness Plus, you can save $25 a month. And all of those services are available to all of the family options.
And if you don't do any of them, then you really save a lot of money.
Man.
But
I think I just did the family sharing for iCloud. It was 200 gig for $2.99.
Yeah. So a lot of people like the Apple Music, which is what, $10 a month. TV Plus and Arcade are free for a lot of people because you get it for free when you buy a new device, like a new phone that you bought every year. And so the $3 for iCloud and the $10 for music, you know, for $20, you know, you get this other stuff. So if you have a free trial of these, it may not be that good a deal for you yet. But they're hoping, I imagine, that you're going to start using these services once your free trial expires, and then find that you like them and keep subscribing. I think I remember reading TV Plus free extension. They extended the 1 year free, which was going to expire in November. They extended it to February, partly because of the COVID lockdown and everyone has been stuck home watching TV. Has anybody found any Apple TV Plus shows they like? I was watching the moon landing alternate history. What was the name of that? For All Mankind. That was a good one. I started watching C, but I fell behind on it, and then my free thing expired.
I really like Ted Lasso.
I've heard that's really good now.
I think it's probably one of the best shows I've seen in a long time, and it's very very interesting. All the characters you would think would be kind of one note, but they did a good job adding dimension as the show goes.
Yeah.
So I highly recommend that one. It's very, very heartwarming in certain parts. So that's a good one to see.
What does it cost?
It's $5 a month, but it comes free when you buy a new Apple device. So yeah, Bob, you may want to wait till you get your new computer, and then you get a year free.
We had it free, but it expired.
They extended the free subscription through February.
No, how do I know if I'm still on?
If you can watch a show without having it ask for money. I would imagine.
They also just sent me an email saying, "Here's $5. Go find a movie you like." And that maybe that was in, the iTunes movie rentals.
I think if you go to your iCloud account, it will show you your subscriptions.
Yeah, there's a way to look at your subscriptions where you can see and cancel your subscriptions, and so it'll tell you what you currently have available. Let's see. So on the Apple TV, you can do it in settings, and users and groups, and subscriptions. Let's see, on your computer and on your phone, you can do it in the iCloud settings. Let's see, Apple subscriptions on each service. Yeah, when you go
When I
in.
get my new laptop, then that's going to renew. They're continuing it.
I'm not sure if you're going to get another year or it'll overlap. But we'll see what happens if your current 1 year and then you buy another new device. Do you get another new year? I'm not exactly sure. We had the first year is just barely up, so we haven't had people run into that yet.
Is that still true if you buy an Apple device? Because I haven't seen anything that if you buy a certain device, you get it a year free.
Let me see.
I haven't seen it lately.
If they're still doing that. TV Plus free trial. I know there's a 1 year free when you purchase an Apple device, but you have 90 days to redeem that 1 year free. Otherwise, there's a 7-day free trial.
Is that any device? Like even, like is it, like if you bought a iPhone 6, like is it any old device or just a brand new?
Any device that Apple sells now.
Do you have to buy it through Apple?
Or an Apple authorized reseller. You get down to the terms and conditions at the bottom.
Like my phone that I bought through Track Phone that I bought, back in March. Like, would that count? I mean, not now, it wouldn't, but.
If Track Phone is an Apple authorized supplier or reseller. When you set up the new device to your Apple ID, you will get a notice about redeeming the free trial.
I know when I set up my Mac, I got the notice and clicked on it, and I have it for a year.
Yeah. So it would have to be any new Apple device, but Apple does still sell old and refurbished devices as new on their website. So no, you can buy a 10 iron new still.
Thing was, not everything on there is free. Some of them you still have to pay for if you want different things.
Check eligibility. There we are. I'd rather not open it in TV app, but let's do that and see. Maybe that's to check if I'm eligible or not. I have too many things. I haven't bought anything new. So 7 days free if you don't have a new device. I've heard this Tehran is critically acclaimed. Usually the TV shows, it's either critically acclaimed or people love it. You don't find one that the critics like and the people like. You go all the way down to the bottom. That's usually where these things are. Yeah, just start your free trial. Are you guys seeing my Safari window?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
It's interesting because it's not getting fed into YouTube, even though it's in OBS. It's a separate window. How many people? Well, there's only 3 people on YouTube. Everyone watching on YouTube, you can come into Zoom. Well, I'm one of them monitoring it. Charlie, you probably are monitoring YouTube also.
Yes.
Yep. So that's 2 of the 3. So that third person, you don't have to turn your camera or microphone on if you don't want to. Let me see the Zoom meeting window, or if there's a second Zoom window. I have a Zoom annotation window. Oh, yeah, I have a Zoom floating window. And I have a Zoom. I have lots of different Zoom windows available to share into YouTube. And none of them are the one I want. Annotations? No, let's just do the Zoom window then. Okay, now how do I get back to the main window? I shouldn't have hit that. All right, if I say cancel? Nope. All right. So I messed up my Zoom window into YouTube. Hang on just a minute. Let me find the right one. Finder. There's too many windows open on my computer. No one knows how that is, right?
Yeah.
I was going to say earlier, Steve, that when Mabel, I think, was looking around on her computer, and I don't know if it was applicable then, but I was so glad when you explained expose to me, because up to that point, I had this irritating problem where a fickle flick of the finger on the trackpad would blow windows all over the place, and then you explained that was on purpose so you could find them.
Oh.
Yeah, so those 3-finger, 4-finger, and 5-finger gestures.
Oh my gosh, 4 and 5.
Yep. The one I don't like now is the force touch. That if you touch your trackpad a little bit, it does one thing. If you touch it harder, it does a different thing. And I haven't got used to that, so I'm still not doing it. And I turn it off on my computers, which means I'll never get used to it.
So you make lots of gestures when that happens, I'll bet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mostly one finger.
The one finger gesture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go.
I'm watching the Zoom meeting on my iPad, and I'm looking for that thing where you can switch your view between, the active speaker and the gallery or something like that. Does that not exist?
It's in the upper right corner on the computer. I don't know where it is on the iPad.
Okay, I found
mine's on the left.
On the iPad.
Yeah. It says gallery. It's got little boxes.
Yeah, and
Really?
when you type on that, it will change to between speaker view and gallery view.
All right, I'll try that. Right now, I have a little sort of thumbnail of in my lower right corner with a plus and minus on it that I can add people to, I guess, and it seems to switch to the active speaker. So, yeah, there we go. I got nothing in the upper left though. Well, hold on here. Switch camera and leave, which I don't want to do yet. So, never mind. That's all right. Thank you.
Well, and it's a little different too because I have the sharing on. So you're seeing my big window and then the speaker in a small window, maybe. That's how I'm seeing it on my iPad.
All right. Well, it works. It's okay. Thanks.
We'll leave the meeting on my iPad because we're getting echoes. We'll go back into YouTube. All right. Any other questions?
Yes, Steve, I have one concern. I think maybe we touched upon it last month, but I don't know if anybody has an idea. On my 16-inch laptop, I keep getting the Bluetooth file exchange program that keeps starting. And I know, I don't know what does it. I don't have Bluetooth file sharing on. It's not something that starts up with my computer. It shows up when I do the force quit window. I can see it in there. And I've done searches and it basically just says that what Bluetooth file exchange is and what it does and so forth. But it just randomly comes, starts, and I'm not sure why this is happening. It's not affecting the computer that I know of in any way, but it's kind of annoying that I have to go into the force quit just to quit the program.
It doesn't quit normally?
No, I mean, I don't know why it comes up. It will stay open.
It'll stay open until you quit, but it should quit normally. It shouldn't need a force
but I
quit.
don't know. See, I have a program, iCollections, that I use. It's like a doc program, and it also shows the running programs. I don't think it shows up there, but it shows up in the force quit list.
Well, if it's running, you should be able to switch to it and use the normal quit command.
Use the normal what?
Quit. The Bluetooth file exchange menu and
but
choose quit. Yeah.
I'm just wondering why this.
Yeah, that's a different
in the
issue.
First place.
You've checked your login items in
Check the login
system
items,
preferences.
Not something that's happening. It doesn't happen. I just got a new iMac. It doesn't happen on that.
It's not supposed to happen unless you told it to. So
Right.
somewhere along the way, it's been told to, and we got to find out where that got added.
Right.
Do you have some other type of storage device or external drive that can communicate over Bluetooth? Maybe something that is designed to talk to a device like a phone or a tablet?
I mean, I have a phone, the iPhone.
Okay.
I'm just taking a look here.
But everything else you have is fairly vanilla, nothing too fancy.
Right. Like I don't have Bluetooth sharing selected. I do quite a bit use my computer to log into my iMac down in the basement using screen sharing.
Okay.
But I wouldn't think that does it because, I mean, on all my other computers, it doesn't happen. So I was just wondering if anybody had any ideas why this thing is starting up. And I upgraded to Big Sur, and it still happens. So
You might want to manually check in your launch folders in the user and the system library to see if it somehow got stuck in there. So in system preferences is where you is sort of is the graphical way to make something launch at login. But there's several folders called launch items and launch daemons that are used for making programs run at startup. And it's possible that it got put in there so it wouldn't show in the users and groups login items. I just found an article from 2011 where someone is asking about that same thing happening. So it's you're not alone in your annoyance.
So if it does show up in my launch daemons, what does that mean?
It's been told to launch in every startup, drag it to the trash.
Yeah, it does. I mean, it doesn't do it on startup. And, I keep the force quit window open so I can see when it starts, but it shows up when I turn my head. I don't know. I don't know when.
Well, that means some Bluetooth device you have is triggering it.
Yeah.
What Bluetooth devices do you normally use?
Well, I have a Bluetooth mouse that I use with the laptop.
Okay. What else?
The only other thing would be my iPhone. Maybe my also have the headphones, the AirPods Pro.
Yeah, they shouldn't do file transfer. It could be an app on the iPhone trying to trigger a Bluetooth file exchange.
Okay. I mean, I'll have to.
Well, as a test, try turning Bluetooth off on the phone for a little while. Unless you
Yeah.
do you use the AirPods with the phone too?
Yeah, once in a while, yeah. Yeah, I do use the AirPods with the phone. Bluetooth on, Bluetooth off.
Yeah, maybe as a test, turn Bluetooth off and see what it.
Does the iPhone have a Bluetooth file exchange program in it? Do you know?
Yes, it's part of the Bluetooth settings, I think.
Okay.
There are several other ways to transfer files between. Yeah, tap the Bluetooth icon and then tap and hold, and then you can send a device over Bluetooth.
Right. I mean, I don't use Bluetooth sharing. I use file sharing when I go from my laptop to my iMac.
Could AirDrop be turning itself on?
AirDrop is always on.
Well, I mean, could it be doing stuff without your realizing?
But it
a message,
it doesn't use
It's gone rogue.
It doesn't use Bluetooth file exchange.
Oh, okay.
It's a separate protocol. Basically, Bluetooth file exchange is an old protocol that came with very early Bluetooth phones for copying files from your phone to your computer. But make sure Bluetooth sharing is off on your computer.
Right. I know that I don't have the laptop with me, but I know it's not on.
That's interesting. A lot of times it's used to share between operating systems. So if you have an Android phone and you want to get files into your Mac, or if you have, a heaven forbid, a Windows phone, you could use Bluetooth file exchange. Usually, it's easier to use Dropbox or Google Drive, or even plug the phone in with a USB cable and copy files that way. But sometimes that Bluetooth file exchange is convenient because it's wireless and it's there. Alrighty, any other questions?
Yes, Steve.
I've got one.
All right, so we have three. I heard a yes, but I didn't hear who that was.
That's me, Charlie. And
Charlie,
real quick.
And then Kim, and then Rick.
And Kim.
Yep.
Is it safe to go up to Big Sur now?
Maybe. You need to check. You need to check all your third-party programs to see if they're compatible with Big Sur, especially Microsoft and Adobe and QuickBooks, because most of those were not, and you had to upgrade to a newer version for a lot of them. TurboTax was another one that had trouble. But it seems like every year TurboTax needs a newer OS. So we're having a lot of people coming in to install Mojave because TurboTax needs Mojave this year. It will need Catalina next year. Last year we did a lot of High Sierra upgrades because TurboTax needed it. We're seeing a lot of companies that release software will typically write the software for the current version and then maybe one version old, maybe two versions old. And so something that comes out every year like TurboTax, they aren't going back very far in their system requirements.
Thank you.
But yeah, in general, if all your software is compatible and your computer's new enough, 2013 and 2014 Macs are technically compatible, but we have seen that they end up running really slow, and that actually started with Mojave, and then Catalina after that, because what we think so Apple cuts off new system versions for old computers at a certain level before an older computer would be too slow, and the oldest computer that the new OS works with will work, but it may be slower than you're used to So we generally like to say if your computer is more than 4 or 5 years old, you probably don't need to upgrade to the latest OS, because generally we see that being, it runs a lot slower. Although one of the tricks is to erase your computer, install the OS clean, and then re-download any of the new apps you need. But that's quite a pain.
Well, doesn't that screw up your keychain?
Keychains can sync from iCloud if you turn that on. But yeah, starting fresh. So part of the problem with the new OSs running slower is the upgrade cruft. That, say you've got a 6-year-old computer and you started on El Capitan, and you've upgraded and upgraded and upgraded along the way. There can be a lot of cruft along the way that can cause the machine to run slower. They don't have a clean install option like they used to, where you could take the OS out and install a new OS on top of it and keep all your data. So right now you would have to do a backup, do an erase, install a clean OS yourself, and then restore your data, which is frustrating. All right, Kim, you had another question.
Oh, it was related to the last question. Like, so can you back up your iPhone or iPad on your computer and have it like as a separate, like just a backup file instead, or can you only transfer certain files?
Yes, you use iTunes to back up your iDevice to your computer. It does take up a lot of space. So if you have 50 gigs on your iPhone, it's going to take 50 gigs in your backup on your computer. And especially with laptops having smaller storage drives, that can fill up your laptop quickly. And now that the desktops are gone to SSDs and are relatively smaller, that's becoming an issue even on the desktops now too.
So, but my computer's 4 terabytes, but it's old. So will it still work?
Yeah, if you have the free space, it will do it.
Yeah, I have plenty of space.
Yep.
Why didn't that occur to me before I killed my iPad?
Yeah. Yeah, so in iTunes, you go into Preferences, and then Devices, and there's a backup command. No, I'm sorry. That shows you your previous backups. In iTunes, you select your iDevice in the main iTunes window, and then in the status area, there is a backup. Actually, there's 2 of them. There's backup to iCloud and backup to the computer.
And may I add that when I did this from an iPad to the iTunes on the MacBook, the icon for the iDevice is kind of tiny.
Yeah.
And they move it from different sides now. It used to be on the left, and they moved it to the right, and then they, each new version that comes out, they keep moving it. So once you get your phone selected, then in the Summary tab, you have an option to automatically back up to the iCloud or the computer, and then you can do a manual backup to the computer if you want to. One of the options is to encrypt your iPhone backup, which is it's safe, meaning no one can read your backup data, but it also means that you can't read your backup data if you forgot your password. And it only asks you once for your password, and then 6 years later, when you try to get your backup back, and you don't remember what password you used, too bad. Yes, the point of encryption is that nobody can get your data without the password, not even you. So
Hey Steve,
yep.
I thought with the new music program that it didn't back up on your computer anymore; it just did it in the cloud.
Yeah, with Catalina, when they renamed iTunes to Music, that function is still in there, but it's not a separate program anymore. It's now a Finder window. So when you plug in your phone to your computer, you see this previously iTunes-looking window in the Finder. The phone shows up in the sidebar of your Finder window as a device, like you would plug in a hard drive or a flash drive.
And so it automatically backs up. Right now I have my phone plugged in and it has that little circle going around next to my iPhone. So does that mean that it's backing it up?
Yeah, that's probably, well, that could be syncing. At the icon, there's two circle icons. One's a sync and one's a backup.
Okay.
If you click on that iPhone icon, then it will show you this summary screen, and at the top in the status, it should tell you whether it's syncing or backing up.
Okay.
But it does take room on your drive, so you got to make sure you have enough drive space available.
Does it matter if if it's a different Apple ID?
Not in terms of backup, but it won't sync unless it's the same Apple ID.
So sync as in like automatically transfer, like sync your calendar,
your apps and your contacts and calendars, because those sync through your Apple ID. Yes, you can still do the manual backup now.
And you look at it on the computer or not if it's a different ID?
Not with the standard Apple software, but there is third-party software to let you look into an iTunes backup.
And can I manually transfer files then? I can't sync it,
Yes.
but can I manually?
If you scroll down, and I'm trying to scroll, and this is a picture. If you scroll down in this summary window, and you may have a file sharing tab inside iTunes, that's how you can transfer files between the computer and the phone.
Okay.
Alrighty, Rick, you had a question?
Yes. I was looking at the new MacBook Air and the MacBook Pro. And I was noticing that there wasn't much difference between the two of them. It looks like it's the same exact processor. You can get the same size SSD drive in it. The only difference I saw was the form factor and the fans that are in the MacBook Pro.
That's basically the only difference.
Yeah.
One of the other differences is in the MacBook Air. Excuse me, the lower end model. It has a 7-core graphic chip.
Yeah, but you can get the 8-core.
You can get the 8 core as an option. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's essentially no difference other than the fan.
Right,
and because it's a little bigger.
Because the Pro it's the same size screen, but the computer is a little bit bigger. Yeah, in the Pro, because it has a fan, the thermal envelope is higher, so the processor can run hotter, which means it can run faster. So the MacBook Pro, under heavy load, will be able to run faster than the MacBook Air, because it doesn't have to keep itself thermally constrained.
But I would say for most people that MacBook Air should be just fine.
Yep.
And it's quieter because it doesn't have the fans. And it's $300 cheaper.
Yep. So unless you're doing Final Cut video editing, Logic audio editing, you probably are just fine with an Air, especially since they allow you to go up to the 2 terabyte storage drive in an Air.
Yeah.
Which is ridiculously expensive, but you can. Where's the buy button? I gotta get to the buy button. So we can go up to the MacBook Air. I always love maxing everything out to see what we can get. We'll go to buy. And I'm really taxing my internet here. So we'll go to the 8-core model. So the $999 to $1249. So $250. You're getting 1 extra GPU core. But the bigger thing is double the storage. So you're getting that double the storage for $512. But let's go in and do a custom order. Let's go to 16 RAM and
2 terabytes.
2 terabytes of storage is only $600. That's not bad for 2 terabytes of storage. On some of the other models, it's worse than that. So now we're at. Oh, we can't see it. I've got a window in front of my Here we are. 2049 for a maxed out MacBook Air. And now if we go back to the Pro, go back one more. And go to buy. I think I should have looked at the tech specs. I think the MacBook Pro is thinner than the rear of the MacBook Air, but the MacBook Air is thinner in the front. So it depends if you like a thin front or a thin rear. So, oops, I'm sorry, this is the Intel model. I want to go to this one, the Apple model, M1. People are already speculating about the M1X and putting a bunch of them together in the Mac Pro. Yeah, so $22.99. So yeah, the $200 difference between the Air and the Pro may not.
Steve,
yeah.
The best deal seems to be the Mac Mini. You can get the base model Mac Mini for $699.
Then you just have to have a monitor everywhere you take it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, there again, it's the same processor, and
yeah.
you can get the same options on the storage too.
Yeah, so basically the processor is the same on all of them. So $699 is the same computer as the $999 Air, but so for $300 you're getting a screen and a keyboard and a trackpad. So that'd be about what a decent sized screen, keyboard, and trackpad cost. One thing to keep in mind about this M1 chip is it's a single chip. So the current Intel-based computers, the storage is separate chips, the RAM is separate chips, and because this is a single chip with everything in it, it's just ridiculously fast. And we're seeing the benchmarks now are just way outperforming most of the Intel machines, which is pretty aggravating for Intel owners.
Yeah, not only that, but the Apple Intel computers that they're selling right now are even more expensive. I guess it's because they have to pay Intel.
A little bit of that is Intel, but until more computers are more software is natively designed for the Apple Silicon, some of the bigger programs will still have an edge. Like Photoshop is probably still better on an Intel Mac versus being emulated in Rosetta 2 on the M1 Mac. But all the big companies have said they're going to port it. Microsoft has said that Office 2019 works just fine in Rosetta on the M1 Mac because it's not that heavy a program anyway. And then, of course, Apple's own Final Cut and Logic have already been updated for M1. I've started.
Right, I just wanted to make sure that that wasn't my imagination.
No, there've been a bunch of. Here's one from Tom's Guide. There was a video that Rene Ritchie did on YouTube about what's the difference and which one should you buy, and it sort of does boil down to that fan. The fan keeps it cooler, so the peak performance is higher. But most average people never get to peak performance anyway.
Well, they haven't listed like the gigahertz of the processors.
Yeah, but some of the benchmarks that have shown up show it to be 3.2 gigahertz.
Right. What program is it? Mac Tracker.
Yeah.
It lists, it breaks it down, the processor speed. It's the 3.2 gigahertz, the high performance thread, and the 2.1 gigahertz in the high efficiency thread.